Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our second annual Lunch and Learn with Jockey Mamas Forum. My name is Kimberly High. I'm the director of Jockey Mamas Forum. It's located over in the community of Joppa, which is one of our oldest communities down here. The name of the community is called Joppa, but as I grew up there, I grew up there being called Jockey. Why? A lot of people ask me what's the difference in these two names, so I always like to start off by explaining that. And I'm just excited for you guys to be here today. And I don't know if you guys attended was an attendant of the last Lunch and Learn, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself, how I became a farmer. My family has a history of suffering with diabetes. It's about 10 to 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes. And I see my family decline, their health decline in many different ways. And I just said I didn't want to do that. And working in corporate America for 31 years, I worked for all state insurance companies, kind of stressed out, eating bad eating habits. In corporate America, you know, every day there's somebody's birthday on your campus. Not in your building, there's somebody's building somewhere else in the building on the campus somewhere. So you're eating cake and having fun all the time and just going out having good lunches. And I kind of did the flame shop, so we ordered in. And so just had bad eating habits. So one day I decided that I wanted to do better with my life. At that time, my blood sugar was really out of whack. Most of the time it was 300 or above. I was taking insulin on a sliding scale 3 times a day. Just trying to fight to get it better. I did a lot of things to get it better. I tried walking. I tried a lot of things. A lot of people, the first thing they asked me when I tell my story, they said, "Well, were you overweight?" I really didn't have an issue with weight. It was just bad eating habits and just, I guess, stress. Stress is very bad for all health illnesses. So I know it had to be stress and just bad eating habits. I did a lot of things to comfort that, but it worked. When I told one of my friends that I was suffering with diabetes, he introduced me to one of his friends that lived next door. And he was the founder of the Composting. He had just came over in the community to help the guys who had been incarcerated. So he came over just to help them and found out that most of those guys are sick. He just could not believe why is this big city of Dallas have all these people sick. Found out that area was declared a federal food desert, and such as Jockey. And so he started gardening his yard. And when he found out when he started to garden his yard, the guys would come over and work, and they were harvest food. One day, one of the guys walking down the street with a bunch of greens, which the garden was fabulous. It was like no other. I just could not believe how great it was. And so he walking down the street with a bunch of greens in his hand, and one of the guys on the side of the street said, "Hey, where'd you get those greens from? Let me buy them from you." So in the process of him walking down the street, going home to cook his greens, somebody wanted to purchase them. So he said, "Okay, I'll sell them to you. I'll get more." And so as he was selling the greens, code enforcement came down on the street. So I'm selling them. They ticketed him for selling produce on the side of the street, which caused a big conflict. But long story short, that's how Blood Tough Farms began. And after that happened, Darren said, "You know what? Something's wrong with the city. We got to do better. We got to figure out how we can feed people without getting ticketed for trying to sell somebody something fresh that they can't get in this area." So that's how Blood Tough Farms started. So as all that was going on, I started volunteering over there, started learning how to garden. And the guys that was working there, they would teach me. Most importantly, I would go there every day to just learn what I should do, how to grow my own food. I started to breathe good, fresh air on a daily basis. People really don't understand how important that is. Me working in the office all those years, 31 years, just looking out the window at the planes and everything, not getting good fresh air, not even thinking that I needed it, first of all. And so getting good fresh air, getting good vitamin D on a daily basis is very important. So as I started doing that and just started learning what I should do about growing and how I should grow, what I should grow, and what I should grow, what I should put in my body, my health started to get better. it started getting better each day. Every day, I would go to the doctor. The doctor said, "How on earth are you doing different?" I told him, "Well, I started volunteering at this forum, learning how to eat better and just getting good fresh air. I just feel so good." He said, "Well, you sure look better, and it's helping you." So he just could not believe the change that it was making in my life. So it's been. I try to get this correct. It's been 4.5 years, almost 5 years, where I'm no longer independent. Just eating what I grow, breathing the fresh air every day, eating the vitamin D. So that's my story on how I became a partner, or I call myself a partner. So I also want to take the time to, before we get started with our lesson today about planting, preparing your spring garden, I'm going to introduce Malik Monet. She's also part of Dr. Mama's family. She's going to be here today. Come up with this. Introduce yourself, and we'll get started here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Malik Monet, and I'm going to be helping Ms. Kim today with the lesson and the demonstration, and kind of just been by her side, helping out a little bit with the farm and stuff since she started. So I'm happy to be here. Looking forward to learning with everybody.
Okay, thank you, Malik. So, preparing your spring garden is lunch and learn. And to me, the spring garden is very important. It's the most important garden to me because that's the time that you can grow the most vegetables, because there are winter vegetables that you can grow, but it's so fun and exciting to be able to grow the spring vegetables because it's most of all the things that we eat all the time. So as I get started is, I'm going to talk about what do you do when you get ready to prepare your garden. Some of the first things you want to do is, if you don't already have a garden, you need to figure out a plan. You want to figure out where you want to put your garden, what area, how much you want to grow, and the things that you would like to grow. I always kind of, when I get started, I always kind of design on how I want to, what area I want to put my garden and how much I actually want to grow for myself. If I'm growing for myself or if I'm growing for a number of people, if it's for myself, I may have a couple of boxes, or for a number of people, I might, I'll add, I'm going to grow for me and my kids. So I have several boxes. So I use a plan. There are several different ways that you could plan it. There's some things online. I'm going to give you some information where you can go and find some garden planners. This is from North Haven Garden. You can go there. They have this information. They also have it online. It gives you a step-by-step on how to actually plan your garden. How to, if you want an in-ground garden or you want a raised bed garden. It's just a guide, and it'll tell you. And then you can draw out your plants on your own in this guide. You can say, I want to put it in the south corner of my backyard, and I'm going to draw it out and see how I want to put that out there. And then it's just so much information that you can use. So North Haven Garden is one of the garden planners that I've used. Also, there are other garden planners too. Texas Gardener, I love this magazine. It gives you step by step on what you want to do from January all the way to December. It tells you on what day you should do this. You don't have to be exact on the day, but I use it as, if I'm behind on a week that I'm supposed to do something, I can do it the next week. It's not just, you don't have to just stay on schedule, but it's just a good guide that I like to go by. It guides you through, like it says, I'll just give you an example of what today it says. This is February the 9th. It says that, there's nothing on February 9th. But this is whole season also, but it tells me next week, it's the 12th, Sunday the 12th, it's time to start getting ready to plant your root vegetables in the ground, because root vegetables can abstain the coldness. But I've already planted my root vegetables. I kind of took a jump on it. And so I still have carrots and stuff coming in spite of the cold weather, because they're in the ground, so they'll be all right. But it tells you that you should start your root vegetables, such as potatoes or radishes, and then it says beets, or you can do some seeds. You can start your seeds in some containers so you can get ready plant those for spring. So these are the type of guys that I like, North Haven Garden, and then this is a Texas Gardener magazine, yeah. Because they also have a magazine that comes to my house every month. But this is a great guy, so I should look into get a guy like this. So as I go forward with the spring planting, as you plan where you want to put your garden, how big you want it, then you should determine on what you would like to grow. And I'll just tell you some things that you can grow in the spring season, in the early spring season. There's also guides for that. And that's also with North Haven. They'll give you the whole list month by month on what you can grow. I get the list and I just kind of look at it and say, well, what do I really want to eat this season if I'm gonna do this for myself? So I just take the guide and go back. There's also Texas A&M Ag. They are a good resource also. So they'll give you the guides on what you should grow. So I don't tell you what I am gonna plant at Jockey Mama's Farm this year. We already have our garden out, and I have boxes there. I have in ground beds as well. So I will be putting in spinach, collard greens, arugula, eggplant, cucumbers, for sure okra, very good for diabetes, things like that, and all kinds of greens. My favorite green is turnip, but I have mustard, I'll have collards, and I have turnips. And you know, I don't know why I'm a turnip person. I guess I like the root of the fish. I love the turnip because you can just saute it. So, but anyway, but lots of people love collards. So lots of people are collards people. So now that I've determined what I'm gonna plant for the spring season, the next thing that I would do is start preparing my beds. Okay, so I am gonna do a demonstration on how to build a garden bed. So just stay tuned for a quick second. We're gonna move some things around and we're gonna demonstrate. The reason why I want to demonstrate this particular garden bed because it's really easy for women because it don't take screwing and all that. And I love this garden bed because easily moved around. You can easily move it around. So I'm gonna take this brick. You see the bricks have 4 grooves. And it's also a very inexpensive way to build a garden bed. And when I seen a friend of mine build these beds, I was like, oh, why didn't I think of that? You know, because it's just so simple. And a lot of times, if you're building in your backyard, you know, you might build in an area where you plan to build there, but you say, you know what, I really don't like it there. I'm gonna move next season. So this is a good way to build a bed that you can move next season. Let me see if we have enough room here.
And where did you find those bricks?
These bricks are found at Home Depot. And so I bought some pre-cut lumber because I'm not good with a saw. That's what's great about this kind of bed building. You don't need, you can go to Home Depot and get your lumber already cut. I'm just gonna do the outside part of it, but inside you can also get the lumber all cut the same length, and you also can put them this way. I'm just not gonna because we don't have enough table space here. But you'll see what I mean about you can build it so simple. And it's easy to move if you need to move it. So, you know, I really don't care when I put it there this time. I'm gonna have to move that because I don't like it there. So easy to move. So if you get 2 more on this side and 2 more on this side, you got a garden bed. You can also go up on the blocks if you want it to be taller, just however tall you want it, but this is a perfect to me. Or if you don't want to have to be so low, you can keep raising it up with bricks. Bricks they're very expensive, about $3 and something a piece. And I think these lumber cost about $2 or $3 too. So you can get a garden bed under $50. It's movable. Okay, so now that we have our garden bed built, we want to know what we need to do to prepare the garden bed. You're gonna put it on the ground. So in order to keep the weeds out of I use a lot of cardboard. And the reason I use cardboard, some people say you can use that garden, what do you call it, fabric,
Or like a tarp maybe?
or like a tarp. But tarp won't allow your bed to breathe. It needs that nutrition from the ground, so you don't use tarp.
Okay.
But they call it garden fabric they put. But I like to use the cardboard because it can still get out of nutrition because the cardboard would just start going out into the ground. We call it disintegrate into the ground, and it if you go back after you put your cardboard in several days later, you just have to put the cardboard in and just get start so it can start, doing what it do. In several days it get wet, you start seeing the bugs and the what you call the
Maggots.
Worms,
not
earthworms.
those earthworms and those, what you call those roly-polies and all, that's good. You want all of that in your soil.
You do?
Yes, you do. That's all good. Yeah, you want all that. So after it gets wet, it starts disintegrating in the ground, and you see all those start coming into. And then you're gonna want to add some soil, some type of soil or compost. They sell that out at the store, already mixed, and there's places that you can get. I've gotten a compost that runs organic. It's located over in Pleasant Grove. Living Earth is a big company that hauls big loads of it, but you can also go there and buy bags. It's also organic, Living Earth organic compost is also at Lowe's in bags. And there's different places you can just start adding to it. So what I do, I add my compost, leaves and all kinds of stuff, just start mixing it up, But understand, this is still not the spring season, this is preparing for the spring season. So you're preparing your beds for when you're ready to plant anything else.
So when should you start preparing?
You need to start planting. Now is the time to start planting. You can't plant until after the last freeze. And the last freeze, like they say, is gonna get another one, but I really think it's on already.
No, we're getting one this weekend.
Okay, well, after this weekend, I think it'd be perfect time to plant, because that's what I'm planting this week. Okay, and so that's when you start planting after the first freeze. So this time now you're preparing your beds, so you can plant in those. And that's for in-ground bed, raised beds. So if you're gonna plant in-ground, say that you already had a bed out there, like such as me, I'm just gonna go over and keep turning my bed. So what I have in my beds now, I have been adding leaves every week, just because, just it's cold, there's nothing in the ground. I have onions in the ground, things like that, but the rows that I don't have anything in, I just been adding leaves and just turning the bed. And the things that I had on it before, like you can go back and pull out old roots that's maybe in there and then just turn it. But you want to build a mound with your rows, in ground rows, because you want your water to be able to run, so the water won't just stand in your bed. So as you building up your in-ground rows, you want to build it up into a mound so that it can your water and stuff can just run down. Okay, so at this time, are you ready to talk a little bit about soil? Okay, so Malik is going to talk to you guys a little bit about soil and the what you need and how important it is.
Well, so as Ms. Kim was saying, to prepare for planting, you gotta make sure that your soil is ready to be planted in. Aside from the gardener, farmer, her or himself, the soil is the next most important thing. It's the foundation of where your seeds, how your seeds are going to blossom. So soil, let me see, do we have that? No, we don't have that sheet. So soil is actually a living thing. So when you were saying, do you want those kinds of bugs in there? Yes, because soil is comprised of living organisms, minerals, air, and water. This is the science geek in me, but 45% of soil is minerals, 25% is air, 25% is water, and 5% is living organic matter. So that's those earthworms and those roly-polies and nematodes and things like that. So the type of soil that you have will affect what you can grow and how things grow. So you want to make sure that if you're doing in-ground planting, it's a good idea to test your soil to know what kind of soil you have. There are lots of tests that you can buy like at Home Depot or Lowe's, but if you're serious, really serious about what you're doing, Texas A&M University has an amazing program, a resource for you to be able to test your soil. So you can just go online, and they give them a sample of your soil and it'll come back and it'll tell you what's going on with your soil. So you want your soil to be healthy. And the way to do that is to make sure that if there's something that's lacking, you can amend it by adding that thing, whatever it is lacking to it. A lot of times people focus on just the top layer or thinking that they only need water or whatever the case may be, but soil that is too tightly compacted, meaning that it doesn't have enough air, won't allow what you're trying to grow. So soil is important. Here in Dallas and the surrounding area, most of the soil is, and I'm reading my notes here, sandy and loamy upland soils, or mixture of those things, which is just clay, sand, and loam. But in our immediate area here in Dallas, it's mostly clay. But Miss Kim can attest to this, that even though the soils, sometimes they tell you you can't grow this or that in that type of soil, she's grown everything and it's flourished. So it depends on, you know, how well you take care of your garden and what you're doing. And nature's going to do its thing regardless of what we do anyway. So there's also terms called acidic and alkaline that can be used for soil to depict or to determine what kind of soil you have. Your soil can either be acidic or alkaline. For the most part, I think the soil here in Dallas is, alkaline in our area. So in East Texas, it's mostly acidic, but for most of Texas, it's alkaline. And things that grow differently in those different types of soil are like acidic soil produces great blueberries, begonias. Alkaline soil produces great asparagus and lavender. You can Google all this stuff and, you know, just kind of see what grows better and what type of soil. But if you're not doing in-ground and you're doing a raised bed like this one here, you can use soil that you purchase from Living Earth, or compost that you purchase from Living Earth, or soil that you purchase from Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot. But in addition to that, the best way to kind of feed your plants and make sure that they have the perfect soil to grow in is to compost. And what that is Ms. Kim, I think you're gonna do an example of what composting is. And it's just, composting is basically you're just creating your own soil. You're building the soil.
We're gonna regroup real quickly and we'll be talking about composting. And I know that most of the guys are working or doing a lunch and learn, but the benefit of coming into the center, we're gonna give away this starter raised bed to the person that's present. Yay! Everything, even the cardboard.
I'll take it.
You're ready to go. Okay, so as Malik was saying, we're gonna talk about composting. And I'll ask that we could put a compost sheet up on look at this on last, so we can put it up.
Mhm.
Possible.
All right, so sure, I'll talk about it and you can go into greater detail. All right, so when it comes to composting, what you want to do is take a layer of cardboard, right? Start with a layer of cardboard.
Go ahead and do it outside.
All right, but all you need is air, water, leaves,
Browns.
and you've got your fresh, uncooked vegetable peels, cabbage, eggshells, tea bags. You can use tea bags and coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds.
So can you guys see that?
Can the tea bags be used?
Use
Yes.
tea bags.
Use tea bags,
Yeah.
yes ma'am.
Okay.
So, take stuff like this. We don't want like cooked foods, because you want to keep the nutrients. What you're doing is you're building up the nutrients in the soil. So with this guide here, it shows that these are the things that are acceptable when it comes to composting. Raw fruit and veggie scraps. You've got breads, grains, pastas, crackers, not your cooked spaghetti, nothing cooked. Eggshells, leaves, flowers, coffee grounds, filters, shredded paper, tea bags, beans, uncooked, nuts, and seeds. So those things are a yes for using for composting. The things we don't want when we're composting are meats and fish bones, liquids, dairy products, pet waste, feces or litter, and glass, metal, or plastic. Those things do not help the cause. So yeah, composting is a way to make sure that you are able to build and create a nutrient soil, nutrient-rich soil for your plants to grow in. And Ms. Kim, you can talk about this. This is composting at home. It's another piece of literature.
And this is found in your water field. You can find things like this. You can find things like this in your water bill. This is an old one from last year, but they talk about composting and the differences between how to compost, the different ways to compost, the factors about composting and what you should consider, how much you can weigh how much you compost to see how much you waste that you're saving. So when composting, as Malik says, all these things go together. So it's going to put all these things in a pile. All these things in a pile. And as we build in a compost, you got your cardboard down and you just keep building on top of your cardboard until you get your compost, until you see it breaking down. As it breaks down, make sure you put browns. Make sure you put those browns because you want to break down. And sometimes wood chips, those wood chips after it's on some gardens they have all these different wood chips, but you need some kind of wood chips along in there just so that the compost can breathe. So it won't start molding. You just need to make sure you put browns in it so that it can breathe. You do not want compost that smells, because when it starts smelling, that's why we want bones and all this other kind of stuff that attract animals to come try to see, oh, let me go see what's over in this pile. But if you don't smell it, they don't smell it, they won't come and bother. And at the end of doing all this with your browns, your green, your air, and your water, you're gonna produce a nice, healthy compost which looks like that. So you can see all those woods and stuff that's in there. A nice, healthy compost. That's just from turning your own compost. And I don't live with a lot of people. I have a small little compost bin that I use myself. If I'm not running outside every day, I got this. I purchased this at Walmart, and it's on my counter. So I put my little scraps. I'm gonna put it there, and then when it gets full, I take it outside to my little compost pile, and I just put it on there, and that's done. But you always want a top for your compost bucket. Some people use.
Can you use like one of those big plastic bins? You know what I'm talking about that you
Yeah.
can get from Walmart?
For inside?
Like for storage,
For
yeah.
storage, yeah. Okay, so but if you want to be picking up stuff, I just like to use a bucket or a Walmart bucket.
Yeah.
Walmart bucket. Or but But you can use that too, plastic storage, however, just whatever you wanna do, so you can keep.
Yeah, because I got like a little mini trans spot this big, maybe this tall, and it comes with the lid.
Yeah, you just keep, when you put stuff in there, just put the lid on it. Just keep the lid on it. And then when you get ready to move it outside to your compost pile, just go out there, pull it out, rinse out the thing, and then just start over.
Okay, where's the compost pile?
Okay, so we talked about the compost pile at the beginning, where you go outside, make your little pile in your backyard, wherever you're gonna put your close to your garden. Because you're gonna use that compost, you're gonna use that dirt for your free garden.
Oh, so you don't put it in the garden?
You don't put it in the garden.
Okay.
All of this stuff, the air, the water, leaves, the brown stuff, and all your scraps from your table and stuff, it makes into this.
Right.
So you're gonna use this onto your garden.
Okay.
So this is the mixture, and this is how it ends up to be at the end of your compost.
Okay.
That understood?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So after all of the work that you've been doing with your compost, you have your soil, you have your own soil. So if you compost this season, for next season, you'll be ready. Next spring, you'll be having your own soil to put in your beds. Yes. So there's also other things that come to in your water bill, such as things that talking about soil. Just what Malik was speaking about. This comes in your water bill. This is one from last year. It talks about preparing bed preparation, your soil and stuff. So if you have a water bill, start looking in your water bill for things like this. This is very good information that you can take advantage of. And so we're gonna do a little clean up. And while we're cleaning up, can we ask anybody if they have any questions so we can go to our next session? Okay.
Okay, let's see. Is there a specific time you should start composting, or is any time good?
You can start composting anytime. Anytime is good. It likes heat, so you can also, it's better in the summer because it's gonna want the sun. So you don't want to compost in a shaded area. You want to compost where it can get that heat. Because a lot of times when you go, like we go out to live there, you can see the compost smoking because it really, that's how it cooks. You can start anytime, but it's better anytime.
Okay. And when you say browns, is there anything besides leaves?
Small sticks, cardboard, things like that.
For cardboard and composting?
Yeah.
Okay.
You start at the bottom with your cardboard, you know, like pieces of cardboard that you like, your pieces of cardboard. Just, I've seen like those egg cartons. I didn't know that. Those egg cartons made out of cardboard. Somebody just said, why they throw that in the compost? It's gonna break down. It's paper.
Okay.
I had to learn too, but I'm still learning. Yeah, so. Any more questions? We just recently, starting next Saturday, we're doing a compost class at Joppy Mama's Farm because there are 10 residents in Joppy are gonna be our compost, project. We're gonna try to compost in the community. So we're gonna give 10 residents a bucket with a top and instructions on how to compost. And we're gonna teach them what to do next week. And so every week they will fill up their bucket. And on trash day, when they put the trash out, they put their bucket on the porch. And we'll go by and pick it up and take it to the farm. And we're gonna start composting for them. And then at the end of the composting, they're allowed to get compost for their house if they want to put the garden in their yard. So, and also we started composting this week with a restaurant called Reaction. It's over on Bishop, in the Bishop neighborhood. And so we're gonna try out things with them also. So compost is very important. Anybody that want to come to the class next week for composting, we'll be at Joppy Mama's Farm, 7724 Carbondale. That's our third Saturday work day, so the community will be there. There'll be compost class. We're gonna be planting some trees and some herbs and just getting ready for spring. So if you want a hand face-to-face guide on preparing for your garden, your spring garden, you can come by Joppy Mama's Farm, 7724 Carbondale in the community of Joppy. So you're welcome to come back. Okay, we're gonna move to our next. Going on here, today we are going to prepare some pesto. And the person who is in attendance of the class will receive a basket full of everything to make pesto.
Ooh, that looks good already.
So there are so many herbs that you can use in your garden during the spring. And basil is one of the very popular ones. I put basil, I put basil throughout my garden. I put basil throughout my garden, even with my plants, because some insects do not like the smell of basil.
And so are you saying you're sprinkling on the garden, or are you talking about actually planting it in the garden?
Actually planting basil in the garden. Some animals do not like marigolds. Some insects don't like marigolds, so I plant marigolds within my garden. So when I plan out my garden, with my spring garden, what I'm gonna be having, and when I say spring, it means spring, summer. Because the same things you grow in spring, you can also grow those, they go throughout the summer. And then in the fall season, when it changes, because it becomes fall and winter. So it's spring, summer. So there's lots of herbs and things that insects don't like. And to kind of stay as organic as you can, I try to do those kind of things just so I want to use pesticides. I do my best not to use pesticides. Last year I had a really big problem with squash bugs. They are horrible. It's hard to get rid of. You get one, the next day you're gonna have 10,000. That's how they just grow, so they just come so fast. Where do they come from? We never know. What was God doing? He's creating all these different things. They here for a purpose. We just don't know the purpose. But I just think they come, so I have to do stuff to prevent them. So I was just trying to toy with what to do. I was like, I do not want to have to spray these squash bugs. What am I gonna do? So we're right across the street from the railroad track. Joppy Mama's Farm. So this guy that was on the railroad, he looked at me, he said, I was like, what's this guy saying? You know, so he ran over, he said, I bet you're looking at squash bugs. You're looking at this squash. I said, I am. I said, you know what to do about it? He said, yes. So I got a squash bug solution that works fabulously. I mean, he told me to take any kind of container, small container that would fit down in it was in my raised beds. It was up in the raised bed, so it was very simple to do. And I put ammonia in the container, just sit it around in my bed. So I put like a couple of cups of ammonia in my raised bed so that it had the squash bugs in it. And so he said, that's gonna work. They ain't gonna come back. So I did that, and I came the next couple of days, they were gone. They cannot stand the smell of ammonia. I never knew that. So there's all kinds of simple things you can do to keep away pests, to keep away different insects. You know, a lot of people complain about the little bunny rabbits. Because they eat a lot of stuff, people stuff, but I like the bunny rabbit. I try not to kill them. I try not to run them away. But just give them a little it's not paprika. There's paprika, they say you use paprika, cayenne pepper, you know, sprinkle a little around your garden and you're gonna keep them out. You know, they'll smell that, they don't, they start scratching, they won't come back. But I like the little bunny rabbits. But things like that. But there are so many different herbs that grows in the summer. Go to summer, spring, summer. Basil is one of them, but I don't have any basil right now because, you know, what we had last week was so cold. Nobody in no farm have anything right now, okay, but I got some basil from Sprouts. But anyway, basil grows really rapidly, smells really good. It keeps your garden area smelling good. I grow a lot of rosemary.
Mm.
I grow mint. I grow a lot of lemongrass. I also make my own spray for my hair, lemongrass spray. So I just want to talk about a few herbs that you can grow this summer. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick, get some gloves on. Yeah. We think we're professional. So we're gonna do a little demonstration on what you can do with your basil. Because your basil grows so much in on top of mama's farm. Yeah, I gotta get my job in mama's farm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move this out the way over.
You can put it on that corner over there if you want.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna demonstrate how to make pesto, which you may know, it's very simple. So you just pass it over there. So if you have a food processor, you can use a food processor. If you don't, you can use
You can use a blender,
You
huh?
use blender. Blender kind of make it. I can tell a different texture when you use blender. So food processor works well better for me. That's the way I would custom the texture. So, but you can use a blender. So we're gonna use 4 cups of. Okay. Of basil. Just gonna place it in. I wash it before we can. You don't really want to stuff it in there. You just kind of want to get it in there so you start your blend. Oh, you're gonna add stuff. Okay, so this is start low. You can You kind of want to blend up your basil. Get chopped up really well. I don't know if you guys like pesto, but you can use pesto on many different things. I have some bow-tie pasta here that we're gonna put it on. I wish I had some, what is it, you said you got it,
Tomato, basil, pesto pasta. It's the salad that they use.
oh, wow.
It's good.
Okay, we're letting our, basil. Yeah. It's stuck over in the corner, you're gonna fix it here.
Oh, you still got another book.
That's what I mean. Okay, so we got a basil, the food process all chopped up.
Okay, so now we're gonna add a half a cup of, that was 4 cups of basil. See, I thought it was a whole lot. It looked like it was gonna be a whole lot, but yeah, but after you chop it, it goes down pretty good. So we're gonna add Parmesan cheese. And we need a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna stuff it in there as much as I can get, because I like a lot of Parmesan. So a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. There you go. We're gonna mix that Parmesan cheese in. We're gonna let it bend for a while. Okay. Get it all mixed in there really good. Stop and just take a look at it. Put it back on. Looking pretty good. But you're gonna stop here and put some oil in it, because your oil gives it the texture that it needs to give it a little moisture. So it says we need a half a cup of olive oil. Olive oil. We'll give it some texture, just kind of dry. So you're gonna mix our olive oil in. Just go low a little bit. Before we get it real high. Beat it up a little bit so we get it blended. I'm just gonna stop here and open up the food processor and kind of go around the sides of the edges and get it all inside the processor. Let's see, can we get this one again? Okay. Our next ingredient is pine nuts. I don't know if you're allergic to nuts. Some people are allergic to nuts, so they don't use pine nuts. Are you allergic to nuts? Okay. What's that part? So pine nuts, we need, yeah, this is one of those things. Okay, we need 2 teaspoons of pine nuts. And I took the pine nuts and I put them in the skillet and kind of roast them a little bit, just to give them a little flavor. So you want 2 tablespoons. That's about it. Messy Marvin here. Okay. Stop those. Last year at the farmer's market, Dr. Mama Farm, we sold pesto. We did pretty good with it. A little while, we made our own pesto, we packaged it. So we're at the farmer's market every first Thursday of each month. And some of these good items that we have. We also have pepper jam last year. So this year we're probably gonna have some pickled okra and pickles, because we have a lot of cucumbers. So that's what we're gonna be working on. So as that blend really good, I think that's pretty good. And we're gonna, now our final ingredients are salt and garlic. So it says 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. And so I'm just gonna take the garlic. I've already peeled the garlic, put it in my compost, the peelings. And I'm gonna cut them a little bit just so they won't be so hard to
to break up in the, break down in the, pesto. So I'm cut them down some, so they won't be. I'm gonna put them in our processor. And let's give it a go again. It may be easier, you know, some people can just mix everything together and just blend. I just like to go step by step, just so I know how I want the texture, how I want it to taste. So the texture for me, we do everything to it. So we need salt and oil. So that was 3 cloves of.
You got one clove that's on the edge. it's just spinning
Yeah.
around.
That's what it is. That's why you gotta stop and start it back. It's at the bottom.
No, it's on the side.
It's on the side. Okay, let me see what you're gonna have over there, Chloe. That's why I want to cut it up, just to make sure that. Okay, let's see. Let's see what he's gonna do. We have. This is out this time.
Yeah, I think you got it at that time. Cause it's almost like he was swimming. He was just going around the boat.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it one more time and just kind of go around the edges again like I did before we put the next ingredient in. Just make sure we got everything good and mixed in. We might have another garlic hide somewhere. And some of you guys, may already make pesto. Maybe I might have a better recipe than mine. This is just a simple, easy, quick pesto recipe. And I'm excited, but I'm gonna make sauce. That's what my excitement is. When you're gardening, you use tomatoes just because you get bugs on them, and they put big holes in them. I just chop that other part off, make sauce. That's what they do at sauce place. You put in a bag of the tomato, that way you don't waste it in your produce. You're able to use it all. Okay, so we're gonna add salt, and we're gonna add lemon. So how much lemon and salt we need?
So we're gonna need a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon. or
1
so.
teaspoon of salt. You kind of salt your pesto to your taste. So I'm gonna just put just a half of a teaspoon. And if we need more, we'll add more. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the lemon in.
Okay.
Okay, how much lemon?
A tablespoon.
A tablespoon. A tablespoon. So this is about to be challenging, but we're gonna do this. Here you go. We're gonna squeeze our lemon. The freshness of items that you use will make stuff so good. If you know, just use stuff that's fresh, man. Hope I ain't squeezing.
I have on glasses. So.
We ought to have a tablespoon. I kind of did it the old fashioned way. You know that people have those little things that you squeeze your lemon on. I'm just kind of old fashioned, and I just kind of do things like old fashioned. You pour. I'm gonna make sure it gets in there, but I'm trying to keep the seed out. That's a tablespoon. Okay. Now we got all our ingredients added. Let's give it our last little blend. And we're gonna have some pesto. From both sides. From both sides pasta. Next time I'm gonna do sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah, there's all kinds of things that you can do with just simple things from the garden.
So let's see, when you use, if you use tomatoes, are they diced, chopped, minced? And do you add it directly into the pesto or you just put it over the pasta?
Okay, so if I use sun-dried tomatoes, what I would do is I would probably put them in the oven first and then let them dry out overnight or so. And then I'll just put them directly, because it is sun-dried tomatoes, dry it out tomato.
And so did that go into the pesto?
It'll go into, if I'm gonna use sun-dried tomato, make sun-dried tomato pesto, yes, it would.
Oh, okay.
And let's see what we have here. I want to see what we have.
Okay, next question, on the olive oil, is that just plain olive oil or can you use flavored oils?
I've never used flavored oil, but this is the olive oil that I use.
Okay. See that? Okay.
Okay, let's give it a whirl and see what happens here. Sorry you guys were not able to taste it, but we'll give you the recipe. If you want to just take a look at it, jot down the recipes. Those are the items that we used in the pesto. Now let's put it in a bowl. And we're gonna try some and see what it tastes like, you know? Okay. So who's gonna try pesto?
That would be me.
Okay. You see how we had 4 cups of basil, and see how much it just really made a small amount. So, you know, depending on how much, if you're gonna make a whole lot, you're gonna have to have quite a bit. So like this, for example, that we're gonna give away, it has enough to make about the same amount for a couple of people, 2 or 3 people. And you can put it on all types of pasta, but we're gonna try it on some bow tie pasta. I mean, on some bow tie pasta here. Oops, I kinda messed it up. Might need a little more pasta. Yeah, we have some food before.
Oh, okay. I can go get some.
Let's see what we have here. At this point, it's just when you want to find out if you want to add more salt. Yummy. One more lemon. Can you come over to the camera and do that? Come right here. So our taster is gonna taste our pasta with our homemade pesto on it. And let's see what she thinks about it.
Good.
So, all right.
I think we're gonna have to hire you to come through the week and cook.
Well, after my farming, I'll be available. I tell everybody said, what are you doing? I say, I'm a farm just because of my health. I got to eat this kind of stuff that I grow and other things that I grow. So it has never been a passion of mine, but it's my passion now. And I desire more than anything.
There you go, that part right there.
Yeah. All right, so any more questions about our demonstration on our pesto? Please put it in the chat and we're gonna respond back to you while we kind of get cleaned up. We're gonna talk about a few more things that's gonna happen this season at Jolly Mama Sports. Any more? Chat? I'm gonna move it up a little bit.
That is good.
So I don't know how much time we have left, but we're gonna talk about a few things. Ms. Erica, how our time looks? We got about 30 minutes or so.
Mhm.
Okay. For the rest of our time that we have remaining, we're gonna talk about a few things that we're gonna do over at Job and Mama Farm this season. We are a 501c3 and we're there to try to educate our community on healthy eating, things that they can do to eat it. Plus, it's to help with food insecurity that we have in the southern part of our community in Dallas, throughout Dallas. We have to do some things so we can raise funds. So this year, we're going to have, as I said first, we go to the Dallas Farm of Texas. Oh, for Oak Cliff, is that right? For Oak Cliff Farmers Market every first Saturday of each month. This year, we would also be attending over by White Rock Lake. I think it's called Good and Local Market. That's gonna be on the second Saturday. On our third Saturday is our community work day every month where the community come together and work in the garden. Whatever's needed. So like I said, next Saturday is our community work day. It's February 18th. We will be planting trees. We're gonna be planting some herbs and some of our spring stuff and getting some veg together. And we're having a big build out, which we started on last year. UTA School of Landscape Architect designed our design on our farm. They're gonna start putting it all together that Saturday. We're gonna begin. So we'll be doing that throughout the month and throughout each of our work days until we get that completed. That's our third Saturday. But in the month of April is the weekend of April 1st. My grandmother, Joppy Mama, we call her Joppy Mama. That's how Joppy Mama's farm got this name, because I'm gardening on her property where she lived. So Joppy Mama's birthday is April 1st. So that particular weekend, we will be having a farm to fork, F-O-R-K, where we'll be eating food from the garden, our local food, local protein, which is meat, different kind of meats, but it's gonna be local, provided, local wine, local entertainment, and it's gonna be an exciting thing. It's our first annual one that we'll be having.
And will it be on the farm?
It will not be on the farm. It will be on Jockey's Park, close to the trail. There's a trail in Jockey that they're gonna connect to our Dallas trails, and it's this fabulous trail. It's the first fundraiser we had when people came down to Jockey, talked about Jockey Mama's farm, and we gave them a tour of the trail. In the spring season of the trail, it's so beautiful there. All the spring flowers and wildflowers there. So we're gonna give a tour and talk about Joppy Mama's, talk about Joppy Mama's farm in Joppy and community as well. And from that trail, you can see the skylight of downtown Dallas, which is beautiful. It's just so many things is happening down there. It's just so beautiful. So we'll have a happy hour right there at the beginning of the tour. After the tour, you come back up and then we'll have dinner along with our local music and local wine and just have a good dinner. And that would happen the first weekend in April. Then we'll have one Juneteenth weekend, and then we'll have one in the fall. The reason we're doing 3 because in the different seasons, the trail changes. Different flowers, different things happen. So the first season is the spring season, and then the second season will be summer. So there'll be some different things happening in the summer, and then the fall season of the trail, different things happen. So it'll all be in Joppy, just at the park. And as we build up the farm, we'll start having that. Okay, so that's our fundraiser for the year. That's one of our fundraisers for the year. Our second fundraiser for the year is we're gonna do a 5K walk in the community. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month, and everybody know how passionate I am about fighting against diabetes. So we're gonna have a National Diabetes Walk, and we're gonna combine Joppy Mama's farm with Miss Opal's farm. Miss Opal Farm is, I don't know if everybody knows Miss Opal. Miss Opal was a young lady who, she just got some kind of award this week too. I just seen it on the news this morning. And she walked to Washington DC to get the holiday Juneteenth observed.
Mhm.
And so she has a farm over in Fort Worth, so we're gonna combine our efforts, and we're gonna start having this annually. We're gonna have Opal Farm and Jockey Mama's Farm fight against diabetes awareness. So the first walk is gonna be in Jockey this year, and next year we'll move it to her location. So that's our 2 fundraisers that we're gonna have this year. So, and there's also North Texas Giving Day. We're a 501c3, so we'll be out there on North Texas Giving Day to try to get donations. So you like what you see, so we keep up this good work and come to attend some of our fundraisers, come out and volunteer with us, connect with us in some kind of way. If we can help you do your beds or need more information, please stay in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to do so. And at this time, I would like for Monique to talk about our next lunch and learn. And do we exactly have a date for that one? No.
I thought we did.
Okay, so we're
Probably
gonna-
May. I think we were doing a May date.
Okay,
Yeah, May.
so we're gonna have our next lunch and learn in May, and we will be talking about bees and
No.
beekeeping and stuff, and honey and things like that. So we're gonna allow, I'm sorry, Monica.
No, I was enjoying the pesto. I was my teeth green. It's so good. Yeah, if it's made, then great. We're gonna talk about the bees that we have installed at Jockey Mama's farm. We received those bees from Hockaday, right? So Hockaday came out and one of their students, her name's Isla, she's a senior over there at Hockaday, and she's doing a fellowship program and she loves bees. So that was one project that she wanted to bring to the jockey community. And I'm so glad that she did. I'm so glad that you were excited about it and said, yeah, bring on the bees. I am a novice beekeeper. This is my first year in beekeeping, but I've learned so much. So what we're gonna do on the next Lunch and Learn is talk a little bit about the bees, tell you a little bit about how I do what I do, and how they do what they do and what they contribute to not just Jockey Mama's farm, but the world at large. Bees are the only reason why we have most of the food we have on our tables. So we're gonna talk about, pollination and growing pollinator gardens, just what you can plant that will help increase the bee population and extracting honey and when to extract. Like right now during this season, they are dormant. They're kind of chilling and resting. When we do have really nice days, like you said, you were out on the farm. One of the days, a couple weeks ago, when it was unseasonably warm and she saw them flying around, going out, undoubtedly trying to find whatever pollen they could find to continue surviving through the winter. But during the winter time, you typically don't see them. So once the weather warms up, there will be a lot more activity. There'll be a lot more for me to talk about with you guys. And I'm looking forward to sharing what I've learned and what I'm still learning on this bee farming journey. So I'm looking forward to that in May. Yes, ma'am.
I look forward to it too. I am allergic to bees, which that don't make me afraid of them because they're very good for you. You need them. And I have really bad allergy problems. And most of the times I'm looking for local honey because if I take a spoon of local honey every morning, it really helps me with my allergies. But local honey, a lot of people say they local, but I can really tell if they're really local now because if I take it, you can really tell the difference. It's local, it's not, it's gonna help you with your allergies. And I have one other announcement I want to make. We do not have it all in concrete right now, but we're really working toward getting this done. We're having a summer camp at Jockey Mama's Farm for kids in the summer. It will be a 6 week long summer camp from ages 5 to 13. And it will be from 9 a.m., from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And on Fridays, we're working to have field trips for the kids to go places. We're looking for sponsors to go to all these different what is it,
Parole museum?
Rural Museum, Six Flags, the Arboretum, just different things. We're gonna take some to some different farms. Big Tex Farm has a fabulous hydroponic system and teach kids. We're just gonna have a good time throughout the summer trying to teach kids on the importance of farming and gardening. A lot of them don't know because their parents haven't taught them, because a lot of parents don't know about it. But if you give it to your kid, they'll take it home to their parents. The parents are going, I want to see what they're doing with you. They'll start coming. At the end of our summer camp, we're going to allow our kids to cook a meal from the food in the garden for their parents. So it's going to be an exciting thing. We're in this process of plans. It's almost there for us to start announcing just a little sneak peek of what we're going to be doing. They're going to build a worm garden while they're there, butterfly garden, just a lot of different projects that's for pollination for our bees. So it's just got a lot of things going on there. So we're excited about it. So we'll let you know when we tell people, but that was just a sneak peek for you guys, is what we're trying to do for our community. So is it anything else? Any more questions? How much time do we have? We're happy to ask some more questions. And if not, stay in touch with Dr. Mama's Farm.
Questions?